What's good, cuckers? It's Girl Fight Night, which for me is an everyday occurrence, but that doesn't make it any less special, and this is one I've been following since the beginning. I'm not just talking about the fighters either, I mean the entire expanded series, except the weird waifu dating sims. I ain't touching that shit. Some of my fondest memories involve going over to my friend's apartment and passing the controller around along with a few blunts while getting into some hardcore fisting action. Grab your waifu pillow and get ready for the real best girls of fighting. We're playing Dead or Alive. The series actually started off in arcades in '96 using Sega hardware, but the PlayStation version is what really got everyone's attention, leading to DOA Plus, which is the version I was first introduced to the series through. That one is like a weird halfway point between PlayStation 1 and what DOA 2 would be, so a lot of people refer to it as DOA 1.5. Either way, I was majorly thrown off by this one, and it was even harder to get used to since over the years, I've become more of a Helena main, and she ain't here. In fact, most of my faves don't even show up till around 3 or 4, so this might as well be a blind play considering how different the system was. Despite my preferences though, the core cast is very strong. Sure, you only have 3 of the girls at the start, but everyone here kinda kicks ass. That's why they stuck around so long. For the most part. Ayane and Bass show up a little late as bonus characters, but they were still solidly entrenched before DOA 2. The game mechanics are as simple as they come, sitting this one right next to Virtua Fighter when it comes to feeling natural to real combat sports. These games may lack all the flash and theatrics of their over-the-top brethren, but if you are someone who enjoys practicing martial arts and competitive fighting in real life, these are a much better representation of that experience. And yeah, I 100% came here for the busty fighter girls at first, but this is legit one of my favorite fighting game systems ever, with a focus on momentum and redirection that other fighting games just do not touch. Sure, this one is a bit crude and unrefined, but being able to diagonally cross into your opponent's attacks, or controlling the tempo of the fight, or setting up traps, all of it feels great, and I will take it any day over an instant win button super move. Come on, DOA 5 and 6, get your shit together. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you try to counterattack, I think you're gonna find that the controls and features are much differently treated, and if you can't get the timing, it'll be you catching a beating. Hyperbole aside, it is legit hilarious how the original counter system worked when the automatic attacks are missing. The rumor about infinite back and forths is true, and even though it's frustrating in the moment, I kinda love how goofy some of the matchups got. So, I kinda broke my rule at first, attempting to make a run at Gen Fu since Elliot's another fave and they're kinda similar. But not similar enough, cause I was legit trash. Did not go so well. In fact, right after recording the DOA 1 play, I immediately went and did a quick run in hardcore, just to prove I actually know how to play the game. See, I don't completely suck, and now we've got footage for later in case we want to do a DOA 2 vid. With our current options, I decided to give Kasumi a chance, actually completing a full run, but she's always felt a bit too fast and slappy with no real weight behind her attacks. And Tina is just too slow, and has the early 3D grappler thing going, which no one really got right at the time. So I can't blame the game, but I'm not feeling her either. And since Ayane is technically a hidden character, that really only leaves Li Fang as our choice in this Goldilocks equation. And I know there's like 7 or whatever other characters, but first of all, no, gross. And secondly, I ain't into dudes. So, story. Why are we even here? This one is as simple as it gets, and it's always felt like this is more of a prequel to the real events of the series. But basically there's this Dead or Alive tournament hosted by Dao Tech. Kasumi is there to get revenge against Roto or whatever his name is. She revenges her vengeance, the end. I know I may have missed a few tiny little details, but it's way better explained in part 2. It's got cutscenes and an Aerosmith soundtrack, all that good shit you're used to. And if you're new to the series, that might be the better place to start anyway, but that's all you. This one was a long time coming. The original variant of DOA was the only one in the series I had never played, and I just didn't really have a way to approach a full review. But with the very recent passing of Itagaki, it felt very stupid to keep holding off for another day, as if that's something any of us is guaranteed. And the reason we went with this format is because, in a very weird way, this series means so much more to me, the fictional character. Not to ruin the illusion and fourth wall break, but the only reason the dumb little comic I come from, and that world and those characters even exist in the first place, is as a love letter to fighting games, with Dead or Alive being undoubtedly one of the biggest influences. And there are countless artists and indie game developers and just fans in general who've all been inspired by the work this man put in. His legacy lives on through all of them, and the stories and the worlds they create. And as long as the fans make their voices heard, then series like Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive will continue on. There's not much more to say, other than I am forever grateful, not only for the inspiration, but for all the memories as well.